Hey guys, Viking King Blake. Um, I was watching through some of my videos. I'm definitely not the best public speaker ever. There's a reason I'm not good at that. It's because it took me 49 years to be comfortable in my own skin, to be comfortable with myself, and trying, still. I mean, I've been trying to true me for so long. Not really, because it comes out at certain times, but maybe at wrong times. Um, it's probably the first time y'all see my eyes, huh? Anyway, I wanted to tell y'all something I realized is about quite a lot of my videos, especially a lot of things I do. I want y'all to know that I want you to know that I'm human too, and the things that I put in there are things from my past for the most part. But say some of the things I still struggle with, but from a true human aspect and from my true self and just coming straight from my mind, not rehearsed um, or anything like that. I mean, the things I say are things that just kind of come to me and coming to me at the time. These are not things I haven't seriously thought about, and these are things I've seriously contemplated and thought about. Looked up history, Googled things. Google's great for that. But that doesn't mean that it's actual, because facts change every day. I mean, people are discovering and finding out new things happening every day, and that's the beauty of this world. Is we're getting closer to the truth. We're figuring things out, and that's a personal journey for each and every person. Because some people just really don't give a shit about certain things, and that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Um, I think I didn't at certain times in my life. In some of my younger years, I was still trying to figure shit out, and like I say, I haven't got it all figured out. Just so you know, I haven't got it all figured out. You know, the important thing for me is, and with a lot of my videos I've been doing and I've done, and a lot of them I'm really truly not proud of. I've got a few that I wish I hadn't posted, but it still shows you that I'm a human being. That I'm not perfect. I don't think that any of us ever will be, but we can still strive for that. There's nothing wrong with that. I do believe that it's time. It's now or never. I mean, we've already let things go to a point where it's never going to be easy at any point to do the things that I'm talking about. It's not going to be easy. Nothing worth having is easy. I believe that I could state that probably as a fact, and something that I have personally come to that conclusion. Nothing worth having is never easy to get or have, and that's for a reason. Because if you have to work for something and work hard for something in order to get that, or even just the knowledge of that, okay, then it makes it a whole lot better. It's just like, I don't know if any of you have, but if you've ever really been hungry for several days, or just really been thirsty but had no water, when you did get it, when you finally got it, because that can be detrimental depending on the situation you're in. You're pretty much at some point going, man, I'm never gonna find no water, and I'm just gonna die. Please God, put a puddle in front of me. It's funny how we pray to God a lot of times, or gods, or a higher power, when we're struggling, when we're starving to death, or we're so thirsty that we can't even sweat. But I'm saying it to those extremes, but I've pushed that quite often in my life, a lot of times. But I'm saying, when you do, I don't care if it's a can of peas and you hate peas, and you went hungry for 4 days and you had nothing to eat. Water's even a whole other situation. I mean, anything. You know, I mean, if you're dying of thirst and you find a hot beer and you taste it, it's probably gonna taste like the best hot beer you ever had in your life. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, I want y'all to know that yeah, that shit's not rehearsed. You know, I just started shooting it for me, and it's never gonna be rehearsed. I do think I need to put a little more thought into certain things, and you know, but it's still going to come out. I'm not going to sit here and practice in front of the mirror because I think the human aspect of all my videos is what makes my videos pretty good. And some of you may laugh at me and be like, "Oh, look at that crazy ass redneck." I just went to look at my stuff. There's another Blake Burnett out there, and he's playing some music. He's doing some pretty badass shit. He's pretty cool, and I hope he promotes me. I'm promoting him. It's nice to know there's another Blake Burnett out there. There's probably a couple more. You know, he's probably old enough to be my son, and for all I know, he might be. I don't think so. I've never heard of it, but I've only got a daughter. But you know, it's possible. Trust me. But you know, my whole life I've struggled, even from an early age. You know, I think a lot of us have. I mean, everybody has to some point. You know, I wasn't the most popular person in school. I don't think I'm the prettiest person out there. Definitely not now. I never, you know, thought of myself that way. And now that I realize too, I think a lot of those people that I don't even think they thought they were that way. You know, maybe they were a little bit more conceited than I was, but they were getting attention, and you know, they ran with it. They were just better. You know, me. You know, I'm all about feelings. I'm a caring person. I've been called fake because, you know, even by girls I've tried to date, oh, you can't be real. No guys that are really not nice, and that's not true. There's people out here that are nice, and I've been hurt, and I've tried to be an asshole quite a few times. And not believe me, I can be very much, and sometimes without trying, because I'm human, like all of you. But what I'm saying is, you know, it's took me a long time, and I'm talking to the camera, so. The reason I'm not good at speaking to the public or in front of the public is because most opportunities that I had to do that, I hadn't had a lot of practice at it. Just say that. I'll just say that. I've not practiced that often in life. And so I think I'll get better as it goes. Definitely if I don't drink all the time. I've had a lot of problems in the past with things. But I have a whole different outlook on that, and I'm not gonna, or different opinion about certain things. I've been through a lot of things a lot of you have been through. I believe that we've just simply in the last several years, or 20 or 30 or 40, 50 years, or throughout all humanity, have just come up with names for things, and I promise you, that the right situation, the right thing happens to anyone. And it could just be very little. But I can promise you, they'll do the human thing just like a lot of us do. Or they'll go the way a lot of us went. Now I'm not saying there's people, but it's mainly feeling okay in your own skin. And I'm not saying feeling great. But I feel a little bit more comfortable about trying to be the person I am. But I spent most of my life trying not to be the person I was. I hated the person I was. And I'm sure that a lot of you can, well, I mean, maybe not just hated the person I was, but not a very confident person. I was put it that way. I mean, I'm not good at talking, but like I say, I'll get better as it goes. I want y'all to know, I just wanted to tell you before I went to bed, show you my whole face for the first time. And all you ladies out there, just kidding. No, this is not about that. It's not about that. I'm not here to get a date. And I'm truly concerned, and I'm truly, we need to do something. I'm tired of sitting by the sidelines, and I'm just speaking for me at this point. I can't fight it all by myself, and I know there's other people willing to fight, but, that's, for certain things. But, at the same time, I need to try to do it in certain ways where I'm not encouraging bad things or Um, you know, whatever. But I do. I mean, the things I've stated is my beliefs. I am a Norse pagan. Um, I've been studying since I was 13, and this is something I started studying way, way, way before the Viking shows and the Viking movies and stuff came out. There were a few, but you know, yeah. And I am a son of Ragnar. I'm a son of Odin. Um, Odin is definitely, yeah, in my bloodline heritage. Um, I'm not a son of Ragnar, but I'm a grandson of Ragnar, possibly. But the line of Sigurd, and I'll have to explain all that. I'm not going to explain that in my videos because it's going way too much in my religion. And this is not just about, it's not about my religion. This site's not about religion. It's not about me, an opportunity for me to speak about what I believe in. Okay? I don't think it's fair. But what I want all of you to know is the human aspect of it. I don't practice this. I didn't go in there and do makeup. As you can tell, I look like shit. I look like I'm looking terrible. And now I'm looking at myself now. I don't know. I think I look pretty good for 49. And do I believe that? Yeah. Yeah, I believe that. I start now. This whole thing with this journey, the spiritual journey, is spending a lot of time on my own and dealing with my own issues and shit. I've been stuffing in here. And I got a lifetime of disappointments, and not just about me, but, you know, thing I can honestly say about myself, and especially in the past several years, you know, like maybe the last 10 or 20 years, I've started, you know, I've always been this way pretty much my whole life. If I do something wrong or if I get in an argument with somebody, you know, it's okay for them to have another opinion besides me, even if it's my significant other. That person does not have to agree with what I say. They're allowed to have their own opinion, and you know, a lot of people don't believe that, but in my opinion, that's the way it's supposed to be. But you can agree to disagree. It doesn't mean it's going to make you angry. But I'm not trying to make anybody believe the way I believe, because that's me. That's my path as a shaman. But that's my path, and I can tell you what I feel, and maybe what helped me, or maybe some of the things that I've looked up and found out it's stated as fact at this point. But, you know, I look at more than one source. But, you know, if I'm in the wrong, even if I'm not the cause of the whole thing, I try to look inward and say, and this has been causing me a lot of problems in my life and relationships, because I'll take the blame for all this shit, you know. Even as a kid, man, I got whippings for all my brothers, man. I'll take it. I'll take the ass whooping. Fuck it, you know. And it wasn't an ass whooping. It was just a fucked up shit. My dad would say, like, "Oh, do this for your own good, son," you know. And I didn't really know why I was getting my ass whooped every day. And my dad didn't drink. He didn't smoke. I mean, he was a really strict Christian. He didn't cuss. I mean, yeah. But at the end of the day, my dad's human too. Okay. And I love it and I respect it. But like I say, it wasn't an ass whooping. It was just the confusing statements I got, you know, at an early age. And I think at some point I felt like there was something wrong with me, because I mean, my earliest memories, I mean, I walked at 6 months, and a lot of people may not believe that, but that's true. Never crawled, but apparently when I hit my feet, I mean, I was constantly getting hurt all the time, but I was just into everything. I was hyper before, you know. I guess that was a thing, but they didn't like medicate you, which I'm thankful that didn't happen. But I wished I had that freaking energy today, bro, not to get hurt and just do stupid shit. And I've done plenty of that my whole life too. I got melanin throughout my whole body. Believe me, bionic man. But anyway, I just come on to say that my videos are just truly a human aspect of me. And I'm not best at talking. I probably sound like a hellbilly to a lot of people. And I hope I think I say some things. I feel that I pretty much say some things in these things, because I look at them before I try to put them on. And even then, I don't catch everything. You know, there's some parts that I'm like, ooh, or somebody pointed out, like, oh man, or I say like 1,000 times, or you know. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I'm human. And I hope I'll make a little bit of sense. And if I can inspire anyone in this world, and I truly believe in back the whole thing, that I say. I do believe it's time. Um, we tried to fight with our minds. We tried to fight with the votes because I truly don't believe that my vote counted. The 2 times I did vote. I think they went ahead and put who the fuck they wanted to anyway. And we can dispute it, but it's going to take 4 years for them to fucking figure it out, or we're just going to forget about it. You know, maybe we'll get some dumbass to fly a plane into a building, and then we just all forget about the hanging Chad shit or this just stupid shit. A lot of times they'll just come straight at you with the truth, and then everybody's not even interested anymore because, you know, they done admit it. Damn it. Ruin all the fun. Isn't that the way we think sometimes? And as human beings, we love excitement, okay? We love excitement. We love controversy. We love to see it. We love to watch it anyway. We don't actually like to be in it, but we love to watch it. And, you know, there's a part of us, you know, that is that way. I mean, I'm not saying that's bad either. You know, I do believe, you know, I mean, okay, let's say. I was thinking tonight. Think about the whole murder thing, okay? Now, I feel as a Viking, sometimes it's necessary to kill someone. Especially when they're hurting you or they're trying to hurt your family, because I would die a whole lot quicker if you're trying to hurt my family. Hopefully not die, but I'm going to go to your ass and kill you as fast as I can if you're trying to hurt my kids or anyone else's kids or anyone else's family. I'm going to do what I can. You know, fuck it, I'll take a bullet, you know? Okay? And I believe most of y'all pretty much feel the same way. But, you know, this is it was pointed out by a lot of people in videos and a lot of people, lawyers and things. If a man breaks into your home, you could shoot him, okay? If he lives, they're going to put both your asses in jail. Now, that's just a sad fact because his word against yours, right? Now, if you got some witnesses like some family, they're not putting you in jail right away, but they can still charge you with murder. Okay, even if it's... Now, I hope that doesn't happen. I know that has probably happened more than once, okay? And the fear of police and all that shit. But, I mean, taking somebody's life, even if they're trying to hurt your children or you, is never easy for anybody. I mean, but animals do it all the time, okay? And so we go to war, okay? And you're pretty much committing murder because you don't know the guy on the other side, but he believes what he believes, and he's fighting for what he believes, and you believe for what you believe in, and you're fighting for what you believe in, and what you believe in on your side of that scenario, then you're in the right to take his life. Well, that guy that you just killed, he thought the same way as you. Conundrum. But either way, according to the definition of murder, it's murder. Because you didn't meet the guy face to face and have a talk with him, did you? You just shot him because he wore a uniform and he was shooting at you, okay? Well, if he's shooting at you, yes, of course it's okay to shoot back at him. But if you see the guy in another uniform and your commander or whatever says, shoot, fire, you don't give the motherfucker a chance to fire at you, okay? That's the best way to live through the situation. That's common sense. I'm just saying to y'all, man, okay? The whole murder concept, it's a word. Now, if you just go up to somebody for no fucking reason, and there is fucked up people out here that do this shit, which I don't understand. But apparently they have a reason. That you might never know what that reason was. It might be because they just couldn't get a girl like you, or you ask them out and they said no, or, you know, there's a million scenarios. I'm not going to go through all this, but you see my point. You see my point. I feel I feel killing is necessary. I'm not calling murder. I feel in a lot of situations, there's some situations that it's totally necessary. It's totally necessary for you to fucking just go fucking berserker, fucking Viking crazy and take a motherfucker out. Okay, totally necessary. Okay. There's a lot of these crazy, fucked up ass like serial killers and shit. They shouldn't get a motherfucker trial. They should just take him out, and everybody in the community, or hell, the families of the victims should be able to, but not say something to him after he's been convicted. I think they should all be able to go up there and say, hey, torture this motherfucker, take his goddamn life. That's what I want. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see him live in a fucking cell for the next 10, 15 years waiting to goddamn get took out or assassinated or hung, or oh, we got to do this. What do they call it? Justifiably. We got to do this. Like putting a dog down, basically. But I believe that shit still hurts. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to know that shit. But if it's necessary, I see a motherfucker out here fucking with somebody's kid, and I know he's a fucking that kid don't belong to him, and I know he's doing some really horrific, fucked up shit to that kid. I'm not gonna give a motherfucker a damn chance to say shit. I'm just gonna walk up, I'm gonna cut his fucking throat. I'm gonna drop him on the goddamn ground, and end of it. If they put me in prison the rest of my life for that, fuck it. Okay? I got crazy papers. Okay? I just saw it. I don't remember what the fuck I did. That's the best thing to say. I don't know what you're talking about. You know. And that's fucked up too. Because you should be able to look at my and say, hey man, he was going to kill that kid. He tried to fucking kidnap that kid. And he might have raped and killed that kid. Wouldn't you have done the same thing, sir? Officer? Whatever. Okay? Because if I had a bag, motherfucker, you ain't going to court. He's got a gun. And you know, I don't know. There's certain things you cross the line with me. I'm only human. I think a lot of men will side me on. I think a lot of women will side me on that too. But it's fact that there's a lot of young men that get molested as kids, and you know, but most of them don't ever talk about it. Period. But there's a lot of all kids, boys and females, and that's just fucked up. And a lot of times by people that are in higher places that most people look up to. You just don't ever know. And that even makes it worse for me. Like if my minister was to fucking, you know, if I put my kid in Christian school or whatever, just to say, and I found out the fucking minister there was coming get my little boy out of class or my little girl out of class and taking him in his office and making them do and just filling them up. Bro, no. That motherfucker ain't gonna make it a trial. If it's in your kids, I would expect the same from y'all. And I'm just saying, as human, okay? It would be the most torturous thing. If I didn't kill him, I would probably lay there the rest of my life regretting the fact that I didn't just go up there and kill that son of a bitch. And I would torture myself to death, probably start drinking to death. It's all my fault. That motherfucker should have never. But the damage is done to my child. If he did it, period, the damage is done. It may not come out then, but it'll come out at some point. Because even as a child, we don't forget that shit. Or what that felt like. And there's a lot more people out there that went through some fucked up ass shit than we even know. We know there's a whole lot of them. But there's a lot of them that never talked about it. So what I say is, and I don't want to get into all that, okay? I don't know why I went down that road. My whole point was, I try to make my videos as human. The things I say are things that came to me at that point, or things I've been thinking about. But I didn't practice the speech, and maybe I should a little bit. Maybe I'd sound a little bit more intelligent. But a lot of us have these problems that they gave names to. I think people, probably some of them are fairly new, with the PTSD, It probably wasn't as stressful back in the day when there was only like 20 people in town, but I still guarantee you some fucked up ass shit happened, and they saw some fucked up ass shit, and, and I'm saying, without saying, but it's definitely got a lot worse. It's definitely on everybody's mind because it's on the news and TV all the time, and that's all we think about. But one of the things, if we didn't run into bad situations, bad shit didn't happen to us, we wouldn't change shit about ourselves. We wouldn't try to change shit about ourselves. If we didn't fuck up, didn't make mistakes, we wouldn't try to change anything about ourselves. We just, we'd be perfect, and we wouldn't need shit. Everybody just be totally happy, I guess. I don't know. That doesn't even sound great to me. Just saying it. So I want y'all to know that if y'all are subscribing to my videos, I'm a true man, true human. Now you see my face. Oh my God, they're gonna come to kill me. No, if they do, fuck it. Somebody else will pick up the banner. If I can be a leading example of done with this bullshit, guys. Now I'm not gonna go ahead and say everything, you know. And I did say earlier, like, hey, let's come together, let's talk about stuff. I don't really want to talk about it online. I don't, you know, I would rather talk to that people in person, and that's because, you know, not because I'm worried about anybody hearing anything or none of that shit. Because, you know, we may have discussions about things. People have discussions about shit all the time. The military have discussions like that all the time, but they don't make it public. And, you know, a lot of people, I mean, yeah. But, you know, I'm going to need some generals. Um, I was trying to date a lady. It's been quite a while ago. And I was doing this whole Viking King Blake thing, and it was way back then. And just get started in 2018 kind of thing, and it just, and that's just what, you know, because I'm Norse, I'm Viking, but anyway, especially after I saw, you know, the Viking series and all that too. But that's based on a true story. I know it didn't happen that way, probably not, but I mean, also the sagas are based on a lot of that too. I've read the sagas, and which is poem form. That's how most of the Norse people or Viking people or Anglo-Saxons and stuff, you know, they passed down through word of mouth. Those poems weren't translated, and a lot of, up until recently, they thought those poems were just made up. Okay, now there's a lot of names in there that represent, and they've had to figure this out in the poem. You have to kind of go back to the saga of the book if you're reading the saga or the translation of it, and it tells you which characters represent part of some of the gods in the poem in books. And these are aspects of, you know, the line of Sigurd, definitely. You know, believe it or not, most of the Norse people grew up right alongside of the Huns. Okay, the Viking horse is actually a crossbreed from the Attila the Huns, but the Mongolian horse is the Viking horse. It's part of its lineage, the Mongolian horse. Okay, so okay, that even if and I think in the sagas actually, you know, they may have had some Asian in them, but they were, you know, I've seen one. They actually had red hair and like green eyes and blue eyes. So anyway, what I'm saying, but the North Sea didn't get along with them. I'll just tell you that. But China built a whole wall to protect herself from these people, and we learned a lot of our battle tactics and stuff from them as well. So we were traveled right alongside the Huns, and you can take this back. This is history, okay? You don't have to just take my word for it, man. And I try to find out as much before I even talk about things like this as I can about what I'm saying, because and to the best of my knowledge, this is the best knowledge I have at this point. I'm not saying that it's not going to change tomorrow, because it may, but for the most part, we're just going to build on, you know, I think, you know, and my lifetime is, you know, I'm not going to be here forever, which is a good thing. Thank God. But I will live forever in people's minds. I will live forever. I'm trying to do the right thing. I try to be the best Blake I can be. I tried, and I'm saying it's a thing I have to work at, and I still have to work at, and I'll have to work till the day I die. But anyway, I was trying to do this girl, and I told her, I was like, you know, as being king, I care for the people, and you know, and all this, and it's about the people, it's not me. And she's like, no. If you're king, you got to take care of you first. And you can love the people, but you have to be alive in order to care for those people. You got to make the real hard decisions on what's going to be the best for you and those people. And hopefully, you know, they'll be in that concept too, because you want people to fight for you as king, not hate you. So, a big responsibility. Maybe more than I want. But I'm willing to learn, and I've been through a lot. Not to say I'm not going to go through more, but I feel like I always wanted to, I'm about the truth. A lot of times brutal honesty, and most people didn't want to hear that, but, you know. But no, I grew up poor. You know, I didn't get everything I want. I think them telling us how much money we have to have and what we got to do for our kids, and this ideal TV family life, which they got shows that make fun of how untrue that is. But unfortunately, that's a little more we can relate to that a little more. But still, at the end of the day, the person you got to live with is you. The person you got to go to bed with is you. So if you go out and do a whole bunch of fucked up things, at some point, you're going to think about, hey man, that was really fucked up. I mean, if you got a conscience at all, because it seems like most people don't, but I'm sure they do, but it's not as important, or they've learned how to just tune that out. Maybe that's what makes them so mad, is they're running from their own conscience. It's too late now. Well, I've done that shit. Well, I've drank for a week. I might as well just keep going. Nobody knows. And I work my ass off with you. I deserve this 12-pack every day. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. But all of us have formed habits, whether they're good habits or bad habits, but everything in moderation, no matter what, right? Sugar was with the first drugs. Pepper was one of them. Salt was one of them. The people in South America traded their gold for pepper. Black pepper. They gave them all the gold they wanted. All they wanted was that black pepper. Insane, right? I told you life is insane. Anyway, I've said enough for tonight. I got to save something for tomorrow. I may not get with you tomorrow. I got a lot to do. I do care for your families. I do care about all of you. I've got to truly be, if I call myself the Viking King, I got to be a king. And that means watching what I do. Setting an example instead of talking about it. And I try to do that every day. But not because it makes me feel good, but that's what a good person does. That's what a good man does. That's what a good king does. And there's a lot of things that a king might have to do that he doesn't want to make that choice to do. But at the end of the day, if it comes down to everybody fighting for their children, for their freedom, for their families, for all the things we take for granted every day, then I think that's worth fighting for, don't you? Good night, everyone. Viking King Blake off.